Hi, everyone. Welcome to another episode. This one is very personal. We will be talking about the Central Valley, Fresno, culture, community, and everything it takes to build something big and still be rooted within our city.
Yep. That's a lot of to talk about because there's so many things we can discuss. But you know what? I think it's so great that we are able to have this kind of discussion
Mhm.
because, a lot of folks are very talented in the valley and they're always trying to figure out to go a bigger spot, but you can still do stuff here in the valley.
Right.
But they want to move to a bigger, metropolitan like LA, New York, Chicago for those opportunity, whether it be in business or whether it be in arts and entertainment. So we have so many part of that, especially, as an artist, everybody says, you got to move to LA, you got to move to New York, you got to move to make it in the industry, you
Absolutely. And I
know?
feel like Fresno has so much talent and so much creative expression within our community. And I
Hmm.
think what really sucks in general is that a lot of people do not know what to do or where to go. And so they decide that they're going to leave the city, like you indicated.
Yeah.
And I think that's where they need to create their own lane by just recognizing Central Valley talent exists
Yeah.
and KP1 Studios exists. And as they discover such, you know, opportunities
Mhm.
existing here, they're not going to really want to leave.
Yeah, I always tell people you have to establish where you're at. You
Mhm.
can still live here. I live here, for goodness sake, and I travel all over the world because I've built a good foundation and connected and go outside. I did move away from Fresno a little bit, trying to go to LA, like living and trying to be an actor in
I
LA
remember.
and in the 90s but I came back, and when I came back it was like not giving out, but like, how can I establish something so that people can prepare themselves when they leave, you
And
know?
what's cool is that you've established your own lane
Mhm,
and you've discovered what works for you and you haven't put yourself in a box. I feel like people, I don't know how to say this, KP, but sometimes they'll put themselves in a box. For
mhm,
instance, their house is a box, then they go into their box car,
yeah,
and then they go to their office, which is another box.
yeah,
And then people put them in boxes by, maybe not believing in their vision or saying, that's silly, don't do that, go to school, go do this. But
yeah.
in reality, if you put yourself in a box and you don't create your own opportunities, you will never have the opportunity to advance within yourself and evolve as a human being and find what's right for you.
No, absolutely. I truly believe, especially, sometimes it's not people putting in a box. We put ourselves in a box.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people, sometimes they don't recognize it,
Mhm.
but they do. But they talk about other people, but they realize they're the one that are boxing themselves and their true gift and potentials and ability, whether it be in arts or business, especially in business, right? Sometimes, like when I need to go outside to prove myself,
Mhm.
and then they come back. Some of them they come back. Some of them are like, no, I don't ever want to come back to the Central Valley because it's a butt of everything.
Right.
Right, and I've heard that a lot,
Yes.
you know?
And it's full of history
Yeah.
and culture and community and
Mhm.
creativity. Like we have so many cultures that exist today in Fresno. We have
Absolutely.
the Armenian community, we have the Asian community, we
Mhm.
have the Black community, we have all sorts. And they're
Definitely.
all building their businesses and the traditions at the same time. And we're as individuals, we're here to see that and to
Mm.
recognize that and to be able to honor them because
Yeah.
every single business has a story behind it, a sacrifice. And I appreciate you because you
Mhm.
give our people the opportunity to not only be seen, but also not to feel underestimated,
Yeah,
right?
it's not to be seen, not only to be seen, but to be heard, because sometimes we don't have that voice, or sometimes, we don't get that opportunity.
Right.
Or sometimes, I say, I don't wanna wait for people to give me opportunity. I'm gonna create those opportunity. I'm gonna give people some opportunity as well too, but at the same time, it's about giving tools, like any businesses.
Right.
Like anybody that are starting businesses, they think like I'm just the only one, but there are resources out there in the small businesses. People have started the business where they become mentor, and that's very important
Right.
in both in what I do as in the arts entertainment, but also in the business world where we have some helps that we can seek out or people that have done it before
Mhm.
that you can work with, collaborate with, and then they help you build and your brand and move forward, and then giving it back to the community. And that's one of the
Absolutely.
most wonderful things I think about, especially you. You know, you've done so many things in your career. You know, from a makeup artist into real estate to businesses and working with the community, not just the Armenian community you work with, but
Mhm.
also other community as well too. You
What's
know.
really cool, KP, is that you opened that channel, that door for me by introducing me to top producers. For instance, I never thought I would ever see the beauty that I reflected on my models to be showcased on MTV in a
Hmm.
music video,
Yeah.
right? Or, the Bigfoot Wild Weekend with Alan Autry and doing his makeup and the whole
Yeah.
crew. I never envisioned that I in Fresno would have such an opportunity until you and I became friends and you opened
Mhm.
those channels and those doors for me.
I think sometimes you have to be ready. You know, those are things you have to be ready when those opportunities come, and
Mhm.
you have to seize it. You know, a lot of folks, especially young folks that live in the Central Valley, they say, "Well, I'm gonna go away from Fresno. I'm gonna go away from school, go away from to the East Coast." But you know, eventually they always come back.
Yeah, they always do. They come back to their roots. And
Yeah.
another prime example was the Armenian festival, in addition
Hmm.
to the Lao
New
New
Year event.
Year
Yeah.
celebration. You went ahead and videotaped the entire experience, and it showcased culture,
Yes.
food, music, history, generations coming together, celebrating
Hmm.
one beautiful cause, which is just togetherness and honoring where we come from, who we are, what our roots are. Everything was so beautifully organized at the Armenian church at St. Paul, and you were there to witness it all and showcase it for the whole world to see what we are actually doing for our community, and that is
Hmm.
bringing us together as a unit.
You know what I love about going to the Armenian festival was not just to see the beautiful music, everything, which is great, but also I got to see the small business folks that at the
Yes.
table there,
The
the
talent.
handcrafts, the bakery things that were
Mhm.
there, and there's so many things that are connected with the community, you know, especially and also with the Lao stuff as well too. But I wanted to talk about, you know, especially for those who have gone away and come back
Right.
and how do some of them have given back to the community and built
Mhm.
something? They saw, you know what? They're creating a niche. They're creating something for the valley because they saw they didn't have that opportunity when they were growing up. Now they went away, found all the enrichment and all
Mhm.
the knowledge and connection, and some of them have come back and established themselves in the sense of creating businesses.
Mhm.
Not only businesses, but also other artists. Like you know, for me and other folks as well too, that they've gone to work with globally, and they
Right.
always come back for that opportunity here in the valley, and I love seeing that, you know?
Mhm.
We have a lot of celebrities that come through from here, from the Central Valley, you know, people
That's
don't
true.
realize is but they still have roots, like, you know, Steve Perry,
Mhm.
Journey, who's from Hanford, you know, there's a lot of folks that have been here, like Alan Archie, who's from,
Mhm.
you know, not so far from here, but he's a former mayor, but he comes back, lives here, but you got also other athletes as well too, you know, Derek Carr, the Carr brothers who
Yes.
were,
Huge.
play football in for Fresno State.
Mhm.
Now they're back here, the Central Valley, because they love the life, they love the family, they love the community as a whole. We have other great folks that have a huge connection to the valley, and that is something that I love about our valley.
Mhm.
Is there's so many opportunities, so many people that have gone away, but they come back and establish and build, and
Right.
and I the thing about is building roots
Mhm.
and building not just the roots, but growing the roots, growing the foundations, and
Absolutely.
giving other folks opportunities. So yeah.
Absolutely. And it's funny, I was watching this guru on Instagram, and he was talking about if somebody came to you and gave you a job opportunity but said there's a bribe that comes along with
Mm,
it, would you take it?
mm,
And the guru said, "Don't take it." And then the individual challenged the guru
mhm,
and said, "Why wouldn't I take it? Because I have to live." He goes, don't live. Stand for something,
Mm.
stand for yourself, create your own lane, create your own opportunity. And they said, well, I don't have anybody in my circle but 5 people. Take that 5 people, begin. And that was
Yeah.
huge for me when I heard that
Yeah.
because you have to cultivate what you have
Mm.
in order to grow something that you're passionate in. Even if you have 5 people in your circle, like for instance, I have you, right?
Mhm.
And I feel like I have an army
Mm.
behind me. And we create something, we establish our own uniqueness through our meeting of the minds,
Mm.
and that's beautiful in itself.
Yeah, and I call it I have a team.
Yeah.
I have a team that works with me that I trust, that I have built relationship with and
Right.
grow. I especially you say, it starts small. It doesn't have to start big.
Right.
It's starting to as a small seed, and
Mhm.
it expand. As that's why a lot of business are very successful. It takes time. It doesn't happen overnight, and not and especially when times are rough, when the
Mhm.
pressures are rough. Right when it hits you. I love when those folks have the resiliency
Yes.
to overcome those and still continue on their business or pivot. Their
Right.
the situation.
Because you're not waiting on permission anymore.
Yeah.
You're not waiting on somebody to acknowledge your vision. You're actually going and creating your own lane. And then you're coming back to the Central Valley and
Mhm.
you're bringing all that wealth with you.
Yeah.
And then you then realize, oh my God, I've established a business or a creative
Mm.
outlet for myself that I can say it's all mine.
Yeah. I also you gotta look at, you cannot think
Right.
small-minded or small city. Everybody think, "Oh, Fresno is such a small city." No, we're the 5th largest city in the state of
We
California.
really
We
are.
are so expanding, we're growing, the
Mhm.
schools are growing, the families coming in. You gotta think global.
Right.
I always think global. When I always do things in Central Valley, I think, okay, I can be here, base here, but I think global because of the technology that we have now, the internet where we can connect with people from all over the country. Like,
Mhm.
for instance, Visalia have the agricultural ag week, ag
Oh,
festival.
nice.
People come from all over the world for the ag expos because
Mhm.
we're the number one ag culture in the
Absolutely.
world, and they learn about technology. They come here, they spend that whole week down in
Oh,
Visalia, that
yeah.
the Tulare area, and to
Right.
learn about technology. And people come from China, from other countries to learn about agriculture, and that's not small minded. That's
No.
big minded.
Very.
And I love the fact that we do set trends. We are bigger than what we think we are,
Right.
and we have to look at that way. And I always have a vision.
Mhm.
Maybe it's a crazy vision, but at least it's a vision that I believe in,
And I
you know?
really believe in those visions
Yeah.
because why do those visions come to you? Think
Yeah.
about it. There's a need for it to be executed, and it was delivered to you because there's a um, calling that you have to follow,
Sure.
right? And some people don't want to follow that calling because they don't believe in themselves. They don't have the confidence. They don't think they have the resources. They don't have the opportunities.
Mhm.
But if you create your own opportunities and you actually, you know, turn to a small circle to begin, you will see how much of your creativeness will impact others in this world because
Mhm.
people love to see brand new ideas come about. It's almost like an invention. You invent something, and at first they're like, what is this?
Mhm.
But then they have a need for it
Yes.
and it's useful and it makes sense. And
Uh-huh.
they're like, I want more of this. So I always tell people do not hinder yourself by
Mhm.
getting in your own way.
Yeah. No, and I also love the fact that, with yourself and your business, and I can see where you've started, but you
Mhm.
learn how to pivot. You not only
Yes.
not from doing the makeup artist, not just for music video, but also weddings and other things that are needed. But you move away from that, but you still do once in a while.
Mhm.
But you're also moving in the business world, in the financial world, in the real
Absolutely.
estate world, where you're meeting and connecting with all sorts of people in all various of life. And I love about that because you don't limit yourself.
I call myself a multiverse individual.
Mm.
I'm multidimensional, and I believe you are too. Any creative is very multidimensional. We're not just
Mhm.
one set minded. We are all perspective, and I think that's what makes us so unique is that we actually take the moment to look at all angles, then decide to roll something out,
Mm.
right? Because we want to see what is it going to do for our community? What is it going to do for our culture? Is it going to make a
Mm.
big impact in someone's life just by hearing this podcast? Is it going to inspire them? And that's the beauty of, being able to be a multi-talented individual. You could bring all aspects of life to the table, and
Mm.
if it's beneficial for somebody else, you've done something right.
I love the fact that you said, not just about cultivation, but also the benefit of the community as a
Mhm.
whole as we are moving forward, to more things that, in life. And I see that perspective.
Yeah.
I know that for those that are coming here through the Central Valley, there's so much richness, there's so many cultures, so many
Mhm.
histories, and, everybody knows about Yosemite, but there are all many things around the valley that we can learn and discover and learn from each other. Like, I'm learning more about the Armenian community.
I
I've been
love it.
involved in the community for a very long time, and I'm still learning,
Mhm.
and catching up on that perspective. But anyway, I think we can go on more and more about it, but I
Right.
think there's something we so much about our Central Valley, how we think about it, how we
Mhm.
look at things, how can we affect others,
Mhm.
not only affect other, but how did it affect us
Right.
as individual.
It helps you grow,
Mhm,
evolve. You not only grow mentally, physically, emotionally, but at the end of the day, you come out strong.
mhm,
And that strength is what gives you the resilience to keep on pushing forward. And I love when you always tell me, keep going,
yep,
don't stop, be consistent,
yep,
don't give up, see your talents, see your worth, wake up.
yeah,
Sometimes you even tell me, Susie, wake up. It's
yep,
wake up time because I might, have so many overwhelming priorities that I don't have that moment to say, you know what, I have to dedicate this moment for that wake up call.
mhm,
Right. And I love that you do that. You challenge me. And with that challenge, we also begin to thrive in areas that I never even saw myself being able to because
mhm,
I'm challenged. And
yeah,
I'm like, wow, after I got challenged, I produced and did something that was very
yep.
unique and it was beneficial to others who are viewing this.
I
So
love, I think, I always say, don't fall backward, fall
follow
forward.
forward.
Keep moving forward, and, because we have a resiliency in ourself, we know where we're at. There's, 100 no's, it's gonna
Yeah.
be a 1 yes. It's worth it. It's 1,000 no, whatever it may be.
Right.
I mean, we're go to the next one, go to the next one, next one. That's how
Mhm.
we were taught.
Yeah.
And I think that's one thing that we've learned: resiliency. We learn about respecting each other, learn about, and also having accountability to others. Because I
Right.
see greatness in people. I
Yes.
see greatness in people. Is what they do with it that's up to them.
Mhm.
And
You
that's,
give them the
yeah,
opportunity, and then with that opportunity, they have to be the ones to really showcase and shine who they are as an individual, and at the end of the day, what is it that they are going to do that is going to be a benefit not only to themselves, but to the entire community, for the community to feel like this person brings value to our Fresno, California, or Central Valley.
absolutely, absolutely. I think we can leave with that
Yeah.
thought and with good, saying, like I said, don't think small valley, don't think small,
Big
think big,
dreams.
big dreams. Gotta have big dreams, and that's one of the things I've always had since I was a kid from the refugee in Laos. I've always had a
Mhm.
big vision, um, and it's about being patient. It's about not giving up. It's about falling forward. We all have things in our life that are personally, professionally, but the one thing that we will never do is to give up. So,
To finish that thought, as children, we were imagining everything,
mhm,
right? Everything lived in our imagination. And we were able to create things out of nothing just through our imagination. And as we got older, we kind of neglected that child within. And sometimes I tell myself, Susie, go back in time, close your eyes, and give that little girl a big, big hug and show her who you are today. Because that little girl is sitting here right
mhm,
now and she's proud of you. And at the end of the day, all you have to do is really believe that you, as an individual,
mhm,
have the power to make change in this world.
mhm.
And it really comes from your ability to understand who you are as a person. You go through all these traumas, you go through trials and tribulations to become who you are, but don't be
Mm,
afraid of showcasing and shining that light within you.
mhm. I always say,
Yeah.
believe and execute.
Yes.
That's the thing. All right, guys.
All
Thank you
right.
guys for tuning in. Make sure you liked, follow, share. Next time, I'm KP.
I'm Susie.
All right, you guys. Thank you.
Bye, guys.